What's going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today I want to give you a overview on what's been happening with Fisker, what the data points are saying, and everything else that you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And with that said, let's get right to it. So right now it is up 4.79%. Broader market rally right now. So there's a lot more optimism for the foreseeable future. A lot of good companies are giving good future guidance. So once again, that's kind of solidifying, I guess, bigger and better things might be coming mentality across the board. 40.3 million shares being traded, 44.1 is the average. So you can tell based on the volume, and it's been kind of very sustainable over the last little bit, that big money is looking at Fisker. At the same time, you do have shorts really still messing with Fisker. So right now, 𝗪𝗧𝗛𝗧 is clearly messing up, as you can kind of see, but currently right now 203,000 shares are being increased, 30.65% of the free float is being shorted, and cost to borrow average is 38.68%. So shorts have been really still manipulating Fisker behind the scenes, and you can tell that if we zoom in looking at the 1 day, this shorts. So I was actually looking at the intraday on what shorts were doing before 𝗪𝗧𝗛𝗧 decided to really crap out on their website, but I'll show you in a follow-up video. But technically this right here, this massive candle, big transaction, that was shorts. They are trying to do whatever possible to destroy Fisker. And similarly, if you zoom out, when we actually did recently have this nice bump up right here, you notice it was very strategically closing below $1 because shorts have a goal with Fisker. A lot of people might not necessarily know that. During my last couple of videos, I've alluded to it, but today I believe is day number 18 or 19, one of those two, somewhere around there, of it consecutively trading below $1. And if a stock does trade below 30 consecutive trading days, that is against the New York Stock Exchange, and potentially it does face delisting. So I do believe, based on just adding it all up, February the 26th. So Fisker does need to get over that $1 mark by February the 26th. If not, then it will fear delisting, but obviously that's not going to happen because they'll just easily do a reverse stock split. A lot of companies have done that in the past, and looking at Fisker, you can tell right here. So as far as Fisker, they haven't ever done a reverse stock split, so generally speaking, that is fairly good. A lot of EVs have definitely done that to stay on the NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange. Both have very similar kind of thresholds. But aside from all of that fun jazz, as of right now, there was a new 13G that was submitted, and that is by BlackRock. And then aside from that, though, some of the recent news looks like on February the 6th, so Fisker to release Ocean OS 2.0 software update. So kind of increasing the whole satisfaction, so customer experience, I definitely think is key for Fisker, and that's where a lot of companies can really set themselves apart from the rest. So I feel like a lot of companies are more so focused on just trying to cut costs, whereas they're neglecting the customer experience. I feel like it does go hand in hand, so I do actually think that this is good news and not necessarily just fluff, which kind of has been the case for Fisker over the last little bit. So in reality, this is kind of good news. Just to quickly go over here, so you do see that amendment. So this is BlackRock Advisors UK, so they did obviously have a change right there. But regardless, despite Fisker's volatility, it does have a substantial amount of institutions still willing to invest in it. So right now, about 119.23 million shares being held by institutions, 20.16 million in strategic entities, and retail owns a good chunk of the float. So 237.87 million is held by others, aka retail. One thing to note while I'm on Interactive Brokers, I just wanted to show you this. Latest Morningstar report does show the fair market value for Fisker being $1.68. So generally speaking, that is kind of good. No recent analyst rating, so it looks like the last rating was done about 14 days ago, and I believe I did talk on that in my last video. So that was Goldman Sachs, 75-cent price target. Mark, who does have a 60% success rating. So generally speaking, that is kind of good if you think about it for EVs or an analyst that covers EVs. So again, it is what it is. Also on a side note, if you're looking for a lot of good compiled information, such as everything I just mentioned, take a look at Interactive Brokers for all of this information to be completely free. Link in the description below and also the comments. But moving on from here though, looking at options, $184,000 in calls being purchased versus 1.26 million in puts. Sentiment wise, 59% of all the options being done are optimistic. So overall, that's kind kind of a good thing. So maybe a lot more value investors are coming in. I have stated in previous videos, I don't know if it's actually been Fisker videos, but a lot of big money is looking and will be looking over the next couple of weeks for value, because as the broader market is preparing for a nice breakout, like a lot of big money is going to be looking for stocks that do offer a pretty good amount of upside, but it's been lagging. And Fisker does meet that criteria. So in reality, I think institutions will be probably increasing their positions in the foreseeable future, despite the massive amount of volatility that usually does follow with Fisker. Of the call options that are being purchased, there's a consensus for it to be once again over $1 over the next couple of weeks. But moving on from that though, looking at puts, there's a consensus for it to be sub 50 cents, but not much money is really getting into puts for Fisker. That's kind of a good thing. So with it right now at 79 cents and change, it is trading between this S1 and the pivot. So in comparison to a lot of other growth stocks, it is doing rather well. So 75 cents is going to be that next strong support that you'll want to watch for it to really hold. It bounced off of that today, so that is kind of good going into the rest of the week. So tomorrow and then early next week. And then 82 cents, or I guess 83 cents is going to be that pivot. So right now it's just been trading wedge bound between here until the broader market is ready to take it higher. And you can kind of see this $1 mark right here as well. So at this R3, so $1 is not too far out of reach. I've seen some people being very negative on Fisker, kind of rightfully so to some regard, but at the same time, $1 can be achieved in my opinion. So let me know your thoughts on Fisker. Based on this shows number of retail investors have been getting in, so overall that's kind of a good thing. Stochastic is at 14, so that does match with what I recently said about value investors or institutions scouring the market for value. If there is a good piece of news that does come out, whether it be for Fisker specific or the broader market, you are going to see a rush of value investors. So overall, I do feel like things are going to be getting very interesting for Fisker in a positive way, as well as the broader market. So let me know your thoughts on Fisker. Have you been buying? Have you been selling? What have you been doing with Fisker? On a side note, one final thing I just wanted to share with you, take advantage of this promo. Simply sign up for an account with Moo for $100 at it and you get 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. So take advantage of this. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.